Should be up and running now for the live. Check to make sure we're good. Alrighty. Should be good here. Testing. Get this plugged in, and we should be all set and ready for the live here. Alrighty, let's make sure that's all good. Get the post up on Twitter. Make sure we're all set here. Sorry if anybody's typing in chat. I can't see anything yet, just until we get the live fully up and running here. Let me see. 15 watching now. Let me just get that link all set and ready for every single one of you. Good morning, Mahadi, Tristo, what's up? Tristo, what's up? Big Dog, what's up? What happened to your stream yesterday? It just abruptly ended. Oh, we have an interesting Wi-Fi connection, so I have to share the bandwidth for those that need to stream and have calls as well. Hassan, what's up? Panos, what's up? Mr. Shorts, give me another banger. I mean, that's the game plan, is it not? Alrighty, let's get that. Let me get the link in. Live now on YouTube. Bang. Alright, live is in. We are set and ready for the stream now. So, how are we all doing today? How's everybody doing? Live is up. Alrighty. Mr. Shorts, give me another banger. I mean, that is the game plan. So, short this morning worked out like absolute bread and butter. Alright. What's up, Jamie? Homie's taking 10 a.m. longs, dude, right? 10 a.m. longs, dude. It's not often you see me catch this, but we had a beautiful C2. I was waiting for London to get out of this fucking consolidation nightmare. Yep. Long buys today in the Asia session. You know it. New York AM session here. Let me give you guys, I'll wait for a couple people to pull in here, and I'll give you guys the sauce as to what I'm planning on here. What am I wanting to see with this rundown? What was your setup for short exactly? Yeah, I mean, I'm just about to give you guys a sauce here. I'm gonna wait for a couple more people to pull in, and then we'll get the sauce, bread, butter, everything ready for you guys. Yeah, I took those shorts too. London time distortion, exactly. Bingo. Tristro, for those you don't know, amazing trader, by the way. Should we fill new week opening gap? Yes, but also we're rejecting heavily off of a 1 hour breaker here on NASDAQ. We see here we have this very aggressive 1 hour BB. So honestly, wanting to see, I mean, we're rejecting off of it right now. I'm more long bias right now than filling the new weekly opening gap. We are relatively close to it though, I will say, but I'm more interested in looking for longs off of this breaker. In the lab this morning, I did give my rough game plan for what I was looking for. Why did I take these shorts, right? Why was I interested in shorts for today's market? What was I looking for? Well, obviously, as we see, Asia had some type of delivery within New York PM session range. Nothing super aggressive, light short signature into Asia session, which just had a continued bearish move down until this London Open. London Open then had a very, I don't even want to call it a continuation, but it was kind of a very small continuation, bearish continuation lower, but ranging in between New York PM session from yesterday, right? So one of the things that I really wanted to see was both of these sessions were trading inside of yesterday's New York PM session range, which is fine. But as you guys know, when I'm trading inside of a range, I typically like to look for an external sweep, aka a session sweep or a higher time frame sweep of an external range. So one of the things I look for those ranges is because those act as a draw on liquidity, where you can see market wanting to fill or sweep liquidity at those highs or lows. And so here with NASDAQ, what was one of those things I was looking at? Well, when we had this London session form, finally London closed. What did we see happen? We formed this C2 short. And this, I actually did not take this C2 short signature because it was a sweep of a previous hourly high, but a sweep of a very low probability hourly high because we had this consolidation nightmare that was occurring during this London session. And so what I took instead was I on purposely did not take the C2 sweep, but I waited to see whether or not we would get a confirmation of the equilibrium in order to identify a potential stronger bearish move. And so with this change in state of delivery, we got a closure below, which with the original fractal model would be an entry here, stop loss at the change in state of delivery high, and then targeting some type of 2R, which would have been down relatively close to that 1 hour breaker. So in this example, this trade setup would have actually played out to an extent, but I was not interested in it because we had swept a higher time frame high, so the previous hourly high inside of a range, which was lower probability for myself. So what I was looking for now was to see, okay, well, will we get confirmed into a potential EQ continuation? As you guys know, I love to trade equilibriums for specific types of trades, and these are one of the type of trades that I really enjoy looking at especially. So what did we see here? Well, we saw exactly that. The fractal formed a closure below the change in state of delivery. Now I wanted to see whether or not we would respect the previous hourly equilibrium, which in this example is that 6 o'clock open until the 6 o'clock high and low, mark out the EQ, which is marked out here by the fractal model in this dotted line. Now, what do I look for here? Well, I wanted to see whether or not we would respect this equilibrium with a potential rejection, which we saw. We pulled above the EQ, closed back below it with a very non-aggressive bullish candle, almost a very indecisive candle. And then finally, we retested it again. And the second I saw bearish volume from that EQ, I entered with a very, very tight stop at the previous candle high here. So at around 22,833. And then I targeted a 2R on the trade. But the thing is, for this trade, I actually did not target a 2R because I was more interested in the idea of looking for these draws on liquidity for where market could really pool. And so where was that for me exactly? Well, as I mentioned originally, I was looking to see a short signature to pull and sweep this New York PM session low at that 2:40 p.m. candle from yesterday's market. And if we see here, that's exactly what happened. And this trade played out with a beautiful 5.39R, even pulling lower into the Monday New York PM session low and also this 1 hour breaker. So in my eyes, this yielded a very good A+ quality EQ continuation trade. Would I have entered on the C2 with this fractal? Absolutely not. I don't like sweeps inside of the range. I like to look for session sweeps or higher time frame sweeps in the external range, not in the internal range. And here we see with London, this was a sweep that occurred inside of the range. Does that make sense, chat? You guys following right now? Does that make sense for the most part? Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah. Daniel trades. Yeah. Leo with the huzz. What's up, JB? Good opportunity to buy below weekly open today if setup forms. Exactly. Can you explain the 1 hour breaker? What makes it a breaker? Perfect sense. Yeah, I'll go into that in a sec. What do you think shorting to previous day low at minute 5 fair value gap? I mean, right now we're rejecting off the 1 hour breaker. So I currently have no bearish bias right now. I'm honestly anticipating a move higher. Market's going to stale out until we see that New York pre-market and New York session open. So short already played out. I want to see whether or not we get a pull back into this 1 hour breaker and potentially the new weekly opening gap. If not, I'll be looking for that long signature back into this London and Asia highs here on NASDAQ. You think we'd take low yesterday? I mean, ideally, yes, we did. We did take yesterday's. Did we take? Yeah, we took yesterday's low already. We swept through yesterday's low. That was that New York PM session on NAS. So that was kind of the draws on liquidity I was looking for that trade setup. We must see C2. Ideally, I'd like to see a C2 sweep that forms either a candle to unicorn or a fractal model formation higher. Yes. So if the C2 would have formed in a better place and not in... Correct. Oh, yesterday was Sunday low. Sorry, my apologies. Sorry about that, guys. It is Sunday low. So yeah, we have not tested the Sunday low. I definitely think we will test those Sunday lows. We have that new weekly opening gap here within this 1 hour breaker as well. So I would like to see that get filled. But right now we're rejecting quite aggressively off this 1 hour breaker. So perfect sense. Perfect. Happy to hear that. And I'm feeling good. Whoa. Powell speaks at 9:30, so that might manipulate the low again. We shall see. Yep, we shall see. That is one of the things we're watching for. We'll see what happens. 9:30 open is going to be a big deciding factor here for what we see. We've got 29 minutes till that. So for right now, I'm stepping away from the charts. Who let you cook pre-market? Dude, I'm asking myself the same thing. 9:30 likes to sweep 8 a.m. highs or 8:30 lows, and look at how convenient the 8:30 is placed. A very juicy POI. I know, Legion. That's why I'm excited. That's why I'm honestly starting to stream a little earlier here, because 9:30 open, I feel like is going to be a fun one to trade. Jeez Louise, dude. We were getting the full Nightbot spam here. Sorry about that, guys. I like to see 1 hour swing there at low this 9 a.m. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Gold here as well, though. Oh, my God. Look at this gold signature. Oh, my gosh. Those of you that are holding longs from that Monday, June 25th or June 30th. Holy cow, that was on the 30th. Never mind. Oh, my God. That was yesterday. Well, those of you that took longs on gold, congrats. This right here would be... Average Nightbot hater, yeah. What's your bias today? I'm honestly relatively bullish bias. I want to see these new weekly opening gap get filled and retested this 1 hour breaker. Look for some type of candle to unicorn or a fractal model, and then see a bullish expansion into London and Asia session highs. So that is my current game plan right now with this. We shall see, though. Seems like a lot of us traders have a very similar bias for today. SH, if you put in exclamation fractal, it's the fractal model here. TTFM Pro, the T-Trades fractal model. That is what it is. T-Trades fractal model. I'm up 18 mil on my paper trading. Let's go. Good shit, Dumbo. There we go. There we go. Gold is wild. Didn't catch it, though. Yeah, gold has been insane. Gold has had quite the move since Monday, dude. I mean, we manipulated these London lows here. New York AM session and just had an expansion. It has not stopped. TTFM and GXT fam. Yep. Curious to know. I'm curious to see if anybody's taken this, though. I think that'd be diabolical to see, you know? Oh, nice. I actually didn't even realize this short signature. Oh, yeah, with that breaker. That short signature was a candle to unicorn. Ooh. I'm telling you guys, C2 is the way. Yeah, Max, the risk management video is still on radar. I have just had a little bit of delay with travels and just trying to get situated so I can truly film out those videos and get them edited. So Tristo is cold as hell, dude. He's a fucking great trader. When you trade EQ continuation, you don't need to you don't need the close of the opposing candle. If you have a probability that aligns from previous. So we had a candle to unicorn form here, C2 sweep, breaker, and closure below the SIST created a higher probability short signature. And so when I want to, since I missed the original entry here, I waited for a retest of the EQ. So in an example like this, you don't need to wait for an opposing closure. It's just kind of the risk associated with this continuation. I just put a very tight stop at the previous 5-minute high that tested that EQ and then target some draw on liquidity. Shorted that? Hell yeah. Yeah, of course, Max. Shorted that. Nice statue. Well done. Got an interview next week. If I get this job, I think my first purchase would be the TTFM indicator. Hell yeah. I mean, hey, 20. I've got a code that gives you 20% off. So if you do want a discount on that, I don't know if you're interested, but if you do want that, it's 20% with code Leo or Leo. It's hard to catch that whole trade on gold on a prop. Yeah, no kidding, Paul. I know it's more of a joke. Like, it's definitely, you've got to be personal to grab that. But this was a great continuation. Tesla here kind of doing what I wanted as well. I'm looking for Tesla calls after this manipulation of this swing point here, this 4 o'clock swing point. So 9:30 open, we'll potentially be looking to long Tesla into this Tuesday gap here. So it's kind of the game plan for myself right now. We'll see what happens here. We will see what happens. No trades until market open. Yeah, no trades for me until market open. Not yet. Yeah, today is going to be a shorter stream for you guys, just because we're already up pretty big on the day. So I don't want to force anything. So I'll mostly just be giving you guys the analysis for the trades, and then probably right after 9:30 I'll be hopping off here and just enjoying my day, potentially taking a trade setup, closing the charts. Who knows? Sell out. He's on the Real Trader Influencer grind now, selling his soul for a promo code LOL. No, I mean, T's just the GOAT. T just hooked me up with a promo. If you don't want to use it, you totally don't need to. I know, who doesn't like a little 50% off, you know, or 20% off, sorry. Thank you. Yeah, of course, Paul. How would you long the gold today? Gold would have just been some type of continuation. So London session here, closure above a breaker. Like, let me show you this. You could look for a signature, a fractal signature. So here formed a C2U long. Closure above the breaker and this fractal here, because if we look at this, we swept out the previous 30-minute low. We swept out this 2 o'clock low here with the 230, and then formed a change in state of delivery. Closure above this and above this breaker. I would have entered up on this closure above the breaker block for the candle's unicorn, stop below. So an example for gold, I would have done this. Would have entered on this continuation with the C2 sweep to catch that, put my stop loss at the breaker low. Oops. Wait, my bad. There, wait. Okay, here we go. Stop below here, target a 2R, which would have been a $440 trade, and you would have gotten London session opens, you would have gotten taken out at 440 there. Easy longs on US 100 from here. Let's look at it, shall we? Easy longs on US 100 here. I mean, we're getting a retest of this high interest liquidity here. Kind of honestly forming a demand down here as well, but would be interested to see if we get a closure above. Oh, sorry, that's a replay tool. My bad. Yeah, this is a nice long here. See, I'm more of a big fan of this long. Above this EQ, we retraced respect to this equilibrium. Could be an expansion higher on US 100. Here as well, fractal, we're seeing a rejection off the breaker, seeing an expansion higher. Going to be curious to see how this New York plays out. That's a huge trade. Good stuff. On which one? I think my Apex account might be getting terminated tomorrow. T Trades is his brother. T is not my brother. I wish he was, dude. I consider him my brother. Have you taken the trade? No, I have not taken any trades. I only took the short from this morning. T Trade's brother? Yeah. T, am I your brother? T, am I your brother or no? Are we brothers? Please say yes, T. Whoa, the goat. T is in here, guys. Wait, why don't I make T add as a moderator? Mwahaha. There we go. T's now the goat on the channel. Yes, don't lie. Yeah, guys, I lied. T is actually my brother. T and I are blood related. We are blood related. Sorry guys, how to break the news in the stream. T and I are blood related. We are fully blood related. We have the same blood type and everything. Hi Leo, you guys sound alike. Tristro is T's dad as well. We're breaking the news early to you guys. We thought that, you know, this might be the best stream to do it. I put my stop loss at the breaker. Yeah, Nero, I prefer, if a C2 forms, I prefer the breaker. It's just a shorter stop, and C2 is also a higher probability trade, so I feel comfortable with the shorter stop. I'm a mod now. Who wants a ban? Oh gosh, was that the wrong power, chat? Did I give power to the wrong person, chat? How can we go back to being friends when we already knew that, guys. Yeah, sorry guys, we had to break the news. We had to break the news. We are related. He is my brother from a mod abuse. Yeah, right. Guys, should I already remove T's moderation perms? Chat, is this risky? Guys, Tristra, if you guys haven't seen him already though, check him out. He is a goat upon goat. Absolute fantastic trader. Highly recommend giving him a little scout if you haven't already. T-Trades almost C2 model will be added to Fractal indicator. Ooh. Stick to Discord, man. Shortest lived mod. Do some adjustments here. Market's not giving me anything special right now. We're just waiting for this 9:30 open. YM is running right now. Hell yeah. Go YM, go. Go YM, go. YM is running. Who is Mr. Zink? The GOAT. He's my business partner. What level do you want to see it hit first? Ideally, would like to see some type of manipulation of the breaker or the new weekly opening gap before looking for longs. That would be the ideal situation for longs here. How can we go back to being friends? Easiest previous day high take is going to be feasible today. I agree with that entirely. I think we're definitely going to see a previous day high get swept out. The DOL looks good. It looks promising. Okay, I'm going back to beach. Enjoy beach tea. Kisses, smooches, love you. We just had 3 minute sisty. We did indeed have a 3 minute sisty. Well done. Closure above, actually. Would have been this one here. She weep. She weep. He is living. Chat, do I go visit him? Do I just take a flight and go visit him right now, chat? What do we think? Nothing today really got me with the daily setups. Yeah, honestly, I mean, just the short was good, but there's nothing super high probability until we see, I want this new weekly opening gap to get swept. I think if we don't see that, I'm going to be skeptical towards longs, or even just to retest the 1 hour breaker into a fractal formation would be ideal too. Love you, Pookie. Love you too. Talk to you soon. When are you going to admit that you are teaching? Oh, never, Aziz. Never going to admit. Why would I? Right? Why would I ever admit that? There's no reason to. Yeah, but we're dropping some sauce on these streams, folks. I hope you guys have been enjoying them. I've been loving these streams. Yeah, in Italy and France at the same time. Yeah, that's true. Displacement. Yep. Spot on, brother. Displacement. All right, we have New York open in 15 minutes here, so we'll see what happens, you know? Sit back on the saddle, relax, enjoy the show. You guys know the deal. Is that entry risky? Oh, it's a much higher probability. The short I took was a high probability short. Kane is the best, dude. I actually love Kane too. Super sweet guy. Jerome speaks. Yeah, at 9:30. It's going to be an interesting 9:30 open, folks. We'll see what happens. So not the spam. After that, how you do it? I'm slightly late for the stream. I was going over back to and stuff, didn't see the notification. No worries. Joshua Doom goes, I am the eldest. So yeah, honestly, once again, guys, if I want the highest probability into these longs, I want to see new weekly opening gap get filled or a retest of this 1 hour breaker from Jerome, and then look for longs into London and Asia highs. That would be the most ideal situation for myself to make me the most comfortable. So that's the game plan for today, though. We'll see how it plays out, Just want to play as confident as possible, sit back in the saddle, see what happens. But we're going to let the setups come to us today. We'll see how this open works out here at 9:30 as well. Lots of news this morning. We have plenty of news this morning. We have a lot of news. 10 o'clock news too. Jerome speaking 13. Yeah, we have high impact at 7 as well. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty relatively heavier news data day, that's for sure. So looks like we're finally getting a retrace here. We'll see if we actually continue lower, though. That'd be interesting. Interesting to see what we could see here, MGC short. Let's look at gold, shall we? Let's look at some GC. MGC. Honestly, not too bad here. Closure below the breaker. I mean, yeah, it's kind of it's a somewhat of a candle to unicorn. I honestly think we do see an anticipation lower here on gold. Yeah, we have some draws on liquidity. Probably retest this London session low too. I'm interested. I think it's not bad at all. Did you finish red yesterday? I finished red actually. I finished red like 112 bucks or something. Yeah, it was a sad day yesterday, guys. Had to just bite the bullet yesterday and close the trade. I just couldn't look at the charts anymore. It was driving me absolutely bonkers. Looking at the charts for that long was like making my brain boggle hurt so much. It's a painful day yesterday. Painful day yesterday. Yeah, it was until like 3 p.m. yesterday, exactly. It was all very low probability until then. Yeah, looks like, honestly, I think we see 9:30 open have a relatively aggressive bearish move here. I think that's what's going to happen, to be so frank with you guys. It seems the most feasible here is that we'll get a relatively aggressive 9:30 open with Jerome. Market's already anticipating a move lower here with this retrace. We're about to engulf this previous move here. See if we break out of this bullish market structure into a bearish market structure. We will see. Yeah, it was a relatively rougher day yesterday. I really had to just bite the bullet on it too. It's a tough one for sure. See what happens here. Yeah, no. retracing into the previous hourly EQ as well. We'll see if we respect that. This could be a retrace to EQ before we see an expansion higher, but if we get an aggressive closure below EQ, I think we retest this breaker, also retest that new weekly opening gap. We have 10 minutes till that 9:30 open, so longs inbound. It's looking like it relatively soon. We'll see, you know? See what happens here. Sit back in the saddle, though. That's the most important thing for us today, right? Yeah, it looks like we're retracing into this EQ, hourly EQ here. We'll see what happens. How's ES moving as well alongside? ES had a closure below that actually, previous hourly EQ, so do have some SMT that's forming here. We'll see SMT at the lows currently with ES and NAS. That'd be cool to see an expansion off this SMT if NASDAQ stays lagging. Waiting for manipulation. Yeah, we're probably going to have a really aggressive 9:30 manipulation based off this high impact. How to find bias, higher time frame. T-Trades has so many videos on higher time frame bias. Highly recommend looking at it. It's a great educational. I do use daily EQs. I use daily 4-hour and hourly EQs. I'll even use 30-minute EQs if I'm trading 3-minute. Always find the alignment. Always, always, always. Always, always, always. Yeah, Dan, this live stream is going to be live after. So it's just going to be right on my YouTube page so you guys will be able to see it. It's going to be super sweet. Yeah, this is going to be a fully live video for all of you to be able to check out, look at anything we've done, things like that. So it'll be good. It'll be very good. Can you share a bit outlook? Wait, can you share a bit outlook how you find? Pip, go check back into the live a little bit. I just talked through a lot of the process for my bias for today. I would highly recommend giving that a little look if you haven't already, boss man. Here we're just seeing, we're respecting this EQ actually right now, which is pretty solid. We'll see what happens off this EQ respect. All right, thanks. Yeah, of course. 3-minute short triggered. Yep, 3-minute short. 3-minute short has been triggered. Yeah, with the closure below, correct. But I don't know. Still in it. Still in to win it. I'm not in any trades right now, guys. I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens here with market. There's no reason to be taking any trades until this 9:30 open here, or even after 9:30 when Powell's done speaking. You guys know the boy Jerome can really fluctuate market if he's feeling like it. So just be a little careful, especially with Monday's move yesterday. I mean, I'm expecting a lot more aggressive PA going into today, which we're already seeing off that short signature from this morning. So play it patient, play it safe. Sit back in the saddle right now. That's kind of the bread and butter for today, right? Wait for 950 macro. Yep. Spot on, boss. All right, we got about 7 minutes until this 9:30 open here. We'll see what happens. Sometimes I'll use weekly profiles. Yes, JB. New weekly opening gap. Red news at 10 also. Yeah, we do have red news at 10. We have high impact at 10, no? Yeah, Jolt's opening and ISM PMI. So yeah, we do have a couple high impacts for today. So that's gonna mess with 9:30 open for sure here, but that's all right. Macros aren't real. It's all fake. It's fake news. Yeah, guys. I had a really, really solid short from this morning, though, so I cannot complain. I mean, C2U continuation entry off this equilibrium was fantastic. Honestly, I trade the 5-minute the most, but I've been honestly trading the 3-minute a lot as well. The 3 and 5-minute have been kind of my bread and butter. I'll alternate, and if I get an alignment on both those time frames, then bingo, you know? There we go. Looks like we're respecting EQ on NASDAQ here. Pretty solid. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so Nas not giving us any clear signature right now. This MGC short's probably going to continue to play out lower here. We're sweeping out some draws on liquidity here. I'm telling you, Kane said macros are real. True. Yo, what up, Leo? Hey, what's up, Hunter? Welcome to the stream. Do you take trade at any hour? I'd prefer to trade between the 9 a.m. 11 a.m. window or New York PM session. I have been enjoying in between New York and London though. Would I benefit from joining? Abdu, absolutely. 1000%. EQ stands for equilibrium. So this dotted line here is the previous hourly equilibrium. It's from the 8 o'clock open, high and low, and that marks out the equilibrium. I did take a trade yesterday. I sold for a small loss. Market just literally was a chop fest all day. So I ended up selling out for about like $112 loss, something like that, like 112 or 120. Very, very small loss in the day though. Did you trade? 5-minute close above 826, target on lower day high, can be logic setup. Correct you. Can you show the trade from yesterday? I mean, we had a fractal form. Honestly, I have it on Twitter as well, but we had New York AM session. We formed this sweep here. I entered on the closure above this sweep at this 930. Took my entry here, anticipated a move for 2R. We just chopped all day long and I sold, I don't know, where did I sell? I sold somewhere around 12 o'clock, like here for a loss. Or no, it was around here for like $120 loss. But I took a fractal model long entry. That's what happened. All right, here we're not seeing much. Market's anticipating a move at this 9:30. We have 3 minutes till this 9:30 open, so get ready. Hold on to your horses, folks. We've got 9:30 inbound. Waiting. We'll see what happens. How's ES playing out right now? I think ES is probably rejecting. No. Wow, all right. See what happens. Nice cicada sound. Yeah, I'm surprised you guys can hear that. There's quite a few cicadas in the back, so apologies about that. EQ stands for equilibrium. EQ stands for equilibrium. If you guys haven't already, by the way, feel free to like the stream. Helps me out a bunch. Yeah, I want to see the fractal in the same time frame. Yeah, because your entry model is the fractal. So if the fractal forms on some time frame, I trade on the time frame that it forms on, right? That's how you create a higher probability trade. You trade on the time frame where the setup presents itself. You don't find a setup on the hourly and enter on a time frame that is conflicting. I want to see bearish movement into this 1 hour breaker here, and also fill the new weekly opening gap prior to looking for a long entry higher into London and Asia session highs. That's my current bias. That is my current bias. We'll see. We've got 30 seconds. Sounds like a good plan. That is the game plan for today. All right, 9:30 open here in 15 seconds. See what happens. How can we, in your experience, which one you prefer? I actually prefer Top Step personally. All right, there's 9:30 open here. Sweep out of that EQ, respecting this EQ, getting an expansion. We'll see what happens that, you know? We'll see what happens here. Alrighty, respecting this EQ, we're getting a crazy expansion higher here. That's going to be 930 sweep here. Yep. SMT at lows for now too. Correct, we do have SMT at the lows. We do indeed. Alrighty, we'll see how we react to this 5-minute breaker here too if we see an expansion higher. Powell hasn't spoken yet though, so I want to wait to see what happens. Alrighty. Waiting it out. MGC retested this breaker block here, respecting equilibrium. We're going to see an expansion lower into MGC here. So honestly, draws and liquidity are very valuable. We'll probably see an expansion lower on gold. Looks like we wait for 10. Yeah, it's looking like we wait for 10. It's exactly what it looks like right now, to be so frank. Yeah, wow. Not the 930 open we wanted here, right? That is indecisive. That is indecision here. ES leading the charge here. We have NQ lagging actually. We're creating SMT between both assets too. So this is a wait for 10 o'clock type of day, folks. Goddamn, YM's probably going rippy. What's YM doing? Oh my days, yeah. YM's having a little bit of a boner session right now. I think we could be honest about that there. YM is absolutely ripping through. YM is on a tear right now. Jeez Louise. Go YM, go. Go YM, go. Yeah, YM is on a tear. Definitely not interested in that. ES is also now going rippy. Yeah, I don't know what Nas's plan is here. NQ's plan is not solid, so we are away from market. Gold is not a short. I mean, gold is not a current short, but we're respecting the breaker. This is absolutely a short. This is an EQ short setup on gold. This is definitely a short position, boss, on gold. I would say so. I would definitely say so. If we don't do the devil's mark, I'm seeking for potential high resistance conditions until NFP. Yep. Good work, Tristro. My goat. My freaking goat. Good morning, Vietnam. What's up, Zicky? Hope everyone's doing well. Tons of data today. Patience, patience, patience. Patience is key today in markets like today. Patience is going to be your best friend in markets like today. 1000%. Appreciate those words, boss man. Yes, and Q here. Looks like we're getting this expansion on the breaker. I'm in those gold shorts. Oh, nice. Yeah. See, that I'm telling you, it's a nice short off this breaker and this EQ here. I'm a big fan of this. It's a very solid short. Very, very solid short. Yeah, Nathan, send me a DM on Discord. I'll respond. I'm an open book, boss man. Let me know. There we go. Expansion. This gold. I do like these. I don't get to alert them, but. Alrighty, yeah, gold short's not bad here. That was actually a beautiful reject off that breaker and respecting that EQ there. Like that. Which session do you usually trade? I trade New York Open, or New York session, and then sometimes London session. Good morning, mon ami. What's up, Edward? Welcome. Would you see this rejection as EQ on gold, even if we not touched it? Yeah, because it rejected off of the breaker as well. So yes, it's a great rejection. I took MDC short on C2 in 5 minutes. Sisty, stop loss at BB, targeting London low. Very nice. Very nice. I'm a fan of that. Yeah, London lows for gold might be a little difficult. We'll see what happens. I'm looking at draws near 3356, draws at 3348, and then major draws at 3345. Do you enter short on gold? I'm not entering gold on short on gold. I think it's a nice setup. I'm just not currently looking for that in specific. Does NQ and ES make any setups in London session? Yeah, we did have. We did have this short signature that I took this morning. I'm gonna do a trade video recap on this equilibrium trade. Wait, type 1 in chat. Would you guys want? I need to see if you guys would really be interested. Would you guys all be interested in a video recap towards my short position I took this morning? Just type a 1 in chat or something letting me know you'd be interested. Long on CL. Currently, no. Still very much so in a short signature. We have plenty of room to move down on CL here. We're just retracing into this EQ before we get an expansion lower. 111 YM beautiful retest in 3 minute. Very nice. 11111111. Oh my gosh. When did the chat get so active? Holy cow, your trade recaps are very helpful. All right, I'll film that video then. I'm gonna end stream in a bit here, and then I will get that trade recap. I'll get that trade recap filmed and posted tomorrow. Now the question is, if I make these recaps, you guys gonna like and subscribe? I'm kidding. I'm messing with y'all. Of course I'll get the recap in. Of course. One, and also recap on the loss yesterday, see what could have been done better. Arturo, absolutely. To give you the general rundown of that loss though, end of month, contracts just, rollovers happening, contracts expiring for options, indices and ETFs and equities, all very weak on the last day of every month, chop fest. But I will absolutely make a video on that as well. Don't forget to keep an eye on the gold call, looking good so far. Yeah, let's look at this. MGC retesting into this breaker now too. We'll see what happens on this. If we get an aggressive closure above, we'll see if we respect this breaker or not, or we'll see an expansion higher. ES and NQ, I mean, this is untradeable. Just waiting till 10. Already did? Hell yeah. All right, I'll get that video up. Honestly, what if I get the video up today? Would you guys rather have the video up today or tomorrow? Because you guys know how I film. I just film and I post. I don't chop. I like the authenticity of not cutting a video a lot. Would you guys be down for video to be released today? If I record it right after this live and get it up in the next hour or two, would you guys be down for that? Don't like those equal lows on gold? Yeah, not too big of a fan of those. Just want 930 to go low and we expand 10 longs. I know. I mean, that's kind of the dream situation here. But right now, it's not looking too good. NAS is finally rejecting a little, but I don't know. I don't really trust it. Yes? All right, 100%? Great. All right, I'll look into that then. I'll after the live stream, I'll hit a little sesh here. Get that posted for all of you. Sure if that works for you, boss? Yeah, I have some time today, so I'll get that video done. Great. Honestly, folks, I'm going to be ending the stream right now. I'm going to be active on the lab and on options compound, going through kind of the trade process. To give you all the rundown for what I'd like to see today, I'm interested to see a retest of the hourly breaker and also the new weekly opening gap. So getting an aggressive bearish movement before we see a 10 a.m. expansion higher would be the game plan. If I do not see that, I'm not interested in taking trades today. I already took this very nice short from this morning. So I'm up on the day, no reason for me to take stupid trades if my game plan doesn't work. So that's kind of the game plan for today, everybody. But I'm gonna be ending the stream. I'll leave a quick 3 minutes here for some questions, and then we'll figure out what we do next. Leo, which 60-minute order block were you talking about? It's a breaker block. This breaker here. That swept out that low. This breaker block here. This is the 1 hour breaker I'm looking at. So I'll leave the floor like 3 minutes for questions here before I end the stream. But if you haven't already, feel free to like the stream. We have 240 of us and 74 likes on the stream. So if you haven't already, let's get the stream to 100 likes. Show some support. Helps me out a lot. And yeah. Leave a couple seconds for some questions. How did you enter in your first trade today? Jeremy, I'm going to get a video posted for that. I'll get a video up in the next 2 hours for that. So if you guys stay tuned, turn on YouTube notifications if you haven't already. I'm going to get an in-depth analysis as to this short position I took on NASDAQ. What about the FEG on gold if gold is bearish? we have some fair values that formed inside of this breaker as well, which is why we have a lot of bearish confluence that's conflicting a bullish bias. So I'm more bearish bias on gold right now. We had a candle to unicorn that formed with this closure below this breaker. I'm anticipating gold to retrace lower. Got it. Thanks. Yeah, of course. My bias right now, I've said it on stream, I'll say it one more time for everybody. I want to see new weekly opening gap and this 1 hour breaker get filled. And then I want to see an expansion higher during 10 a.m. into London highs and Asia session highs. But if we don't get this sweep of these lows, I'm not interested. It will make it a lower probability trade. How much do you risk on a new funded? I typically do 300 to 450, 500 a trade. If I'm trading 50Ks, I'll do anywhere from 500 to 900 on the 150Ks. Gold rejecting 4 hour relevant high too. Yep, correct, JB. Thanks for mentioning that. We did reject out the 4 hour relevant high too. Alrighty, folks, I'm going to be ending the stream right now. If you guys haven't already, feel free to follow me on Twitter, anything like that, and I will catch you all in the very next stream. Just want to do a nice little recap here. Stay tuned though, turn on notifications. I will get that YouTube video up in the next about 3 hours, so stay tuned if you guys are interested for that. Love you too, Kevin. Hope you guys have a splendid rest of your day. If you haven't already, by the way, feel free on the top right there, select prop firm. If you guys are interested in getting into futures trading, select prop firm, run by the one and only T Trades and AM Trades. Use code SELECT on prop firms through their website, and you will get some stellar deals for funded accounts. That goes with my funded futures and a couple other of the big names. So if you guys haven't already, check them out. Check out my Twitter. I'll catch you guys all very, very soon. And love every single one of you. Thank you all so much for the continued support. We are now on the road to 3,000 subscribers, and we are getting close and close quick. We're about 375 away. But anyways, love you all so much. Thank you all for the support. We'll catch you all in the very, very next stream. And yeah, see you all very, very soon.